ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रय विनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः। समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। Hari Om, salutations to all. So in the sixth canto, we are seeing after this Narayan Kavach was given to Indra, he was taught that Narayan Kavach by Vishwarupa, the son of Tvashta. And we saw that Vishwarupa was also doing the offerings for the demons because his maternal side is from that side. So Indra finds that out and kills Vishwarupa. Now Tvashta does one yajna and produces one vrtrasura. And that vrtrasura is very, very terrific, and he attacks the devatas and all of them. They flee from there, and then they pray to Bhagavan Vishnu, and that whole stuti we saw. Bhagavan is pleased, and then Bhagavan says that go to Dadichi Marshi. See, the Dadichi Marshi, his one name also is, Dadichi Marshi is the one who realized the truth. This is in this ninth chapter. Dadichi Marshi is the one who has realized the absolute truth, Brahman, and freed from the clutches of Maya. He imparted this knowledge of Brahman to the Ashwini Kumars. And this knowledge is also called as Ashwashira. Why? Because he gave this knowledge with the head of a horse, Dadichi Rishi. The interesting backstory for that is that Dadichi Rishi is well versed in Brahma Vidya. He has realized the truth. Having known that, the two Ashwini Kumars, they approach him and they seek the knowledge. So at that time, Dadichi Marshi was doing some yajna. So he said, I will not be able to give right now, but will definitely do on some other occasion. At the moment, Ashwini Kumars heard that and they went. Indra comes there and he says that don't teach this Brahma Vidya to the Ashwini Kumars because they are only physicians of the gods and they are not very well qualified for receiving that. And they say that he says, we will behead you. Just a minute. So Dadichi Maharshi was told by Indra that don't give this knowledge to Ashwini Kumars, otherwise I will kill you. Now you see this. So when Ashwini Kumars approach again, Dadichi Maharshi says, I am ready to give, but this is what Indra has said. So you see what Ashwini Kumars they do. They say that we will cut your head now and place the head of a horse. And through that you give this knowledge to us. And when Indra comes and chops off that head, we will replace this head back. So the point is, Dadichi Rishi also was so committed to his word that he agreed. He said, okay, that is fine. So they cut off his head and they put a head of the horse, and then he gives the knowledge of Brahma Vidya. That's why it is called Ashwashira. And then Indra comes, cuts off that head, the real head is replaced. Now see that Indra who was so insecure and selfish. Now that Indra has to now go to Dadichi Marshi to ask for his help to kill the vrtrasura. So karma is like this. Now that is where we saw that finally uh, Bhagwan tells him, Indra, that you go to Dadichi Marshi and he will give you his own body, and with those bones you produce this thunderbolt forged by Vishwakarma, and by that you will be strengthened with my power, and you already have Narayan Kavacha, and you will be able to kill the Vritrasura. Now continuing in the 10th chapter. So when Bhagavan told all this to Indra, what did Indra do? He goes to Dadichi Maharshi. तथा भियाचितो देवैः ऋषिरार्थर्वणो महान् मोदमान उवाचेदं प्रहसन्निव भारत. Now Dadichi Maharshi was approached by these devatas, and Dadichi Maharshi in Prahasanniva, as though it is a sport, it is some joke happening, he just replied. What did he say? Api vrindara kayuyam naja nitha sharirinam samsthayam yastva bhidroho dussahas chetanapaha. So he said that that you don't you know what is the pain involved at the time of death to the jiva. It is so hard that it robs them of their consciousness. It is very difficult to bear. Dussahas chetana apaha. Chetana apaha, meaning the person becomes, consciousness as though the subtle body ejects out of the gross body. And so that process is painful. He is just saying that. Jiji vishunam jivanam atma preshtha ihepsitaha ka utsaheta tamdatum bhikshamanaya vishnave. So body is the dearest to everybody. Those who are living, for them the body is very, very dear, and they want to survive. Nobody wants to give up this body. So who would have the courage to part with it? Even for Lord Vishnu, if he asks for it. Bhikshamanaya Vishnave. Now Devatas are giving some gyan to Dadichi Marshi, you see. What are they saying? That you are such a compassionate person. For you, what is this? Not even a very big thing. For magnanimous souls like you, who are compassionate to all living beings and whose noble deeds are extolled by men of sacred renown, what is that which is difficult to part with? Meaning you are so detached, so compassionate, so what is so difficult for you? Nanu swartha paro loko naveda para sankatam yadi vedana ya cheta netinaha yadishwaraha. The selfish people, they do not realize the difficulty of the donor. If they know it, they would not ask a gift of him. And a donor too would not say no when capable of granting their request. So when the devatas are giving this gyan to him, Dadichi Marshi just laughs. He was actually testing them. He did not have any attachment to his body, but just see the selfishness that the devatas also have, and how they have treated him earlier and how they are asking him now. And Dadichi Marshi did not say that, oh, what you did to me earlier. Nothing. So what does he reply, you see? Dharmam vashrotu kamena yuyam me pratyudahritaha esha vapriyam atmanam tyajantam santyajamyaham. That I have replied this to you only because I wanted to listen to something about dharma from you. Here it is, take this body which is so dear to you. It means he is not attached to that. Evam esha vaha priyam atmanam. Vaha means you all. So this body which is dear to you all, here I cast it off. Tyajantam santyajamyaham. um, and it anyway is going to leave one day. So I drop it now. Now you see here, beautiful points he says. Yo dhruvenatmana natha nadhar manayasha puman ihet bhuta dayaya yasho sashochya sthavairapi. This body which is so temporary, with this body, if a person does not put efforts to do dharma, na yashaha, and through that dharma one doesn't attain that fame. And how? Not by doing anything. Bhuta dayaya, by being compassionate to all the beings, then that person has to be pitied. Sahashocyaha, sthavairapi, even that person is worse than the non-moving things, like non-living, non-moving things, like the trees and the plants, all of them, they are non-moving, but they are living and they live for others. So he says that such people who don't use their mortal body, which anyway is going to perish, which is actually perishing even now, which is going to perish eventually completely, if they don't use that to help others, to be kind, to be compassionate, to do dharma, then they are worse than the non-moving living things. So then he says, एतावानव्ययो धर्मः पुण्यश्लोकैरुपासितः यो भूतशोक हर्षाभ्याम आत्मा शोचति हृष्यति. So he says that all these great punya shlokaihi upasitah, these great people, they are called punya shloka. So these great people, what do they do? A person grieves or rejoices in sympathy with grief and joy of the fellow beings. Meaning, this is how the great people live. In the happiness of others is their happiness, in their sorrow is this person's sorrow, so that this person is kind, compassionate, sensitive towards them. And so, aho dainyam aho kashtam parakyai kshanabhanguraihi yannopakuryad aswarthaihi martya मर्त्य स्वाज्ञाति विग्रहैः. So he says that it is a pity that a person does not serve others with all this, Aho dainyam, aho kashtam. It is pitiable, it is painful. If a person does not serve with what one has, what the wealth, sons, relatives, body, with all these, whatever he is blessed with, if a person is not serving others, then everything being transitory are no use to him, because they actually belong to others. The whole Srishti, the what is given, the wealth and the sons and the body, etc., belongs to the Srishti. Body belongs to five elements. Children and the spouse and the family, etc., they are the individual jivas, and their body is also made up of five elements. Things that we have, they don't really belong to us. For some time they are with us, after some time somebody else is using them. Meaning, no point in being so attached to that which doesn't even belong to us. This body doesn't belong to us. That's why before we identified with it, it was five elements. While we are identifying with it, it is still five elements, and it will go back to five elements. Meaning it stays, it is born, it stays, it goes back to five elements. We are not this at all. And what are we holding on to this? And this is meant at the best for what? To serve others. Now, if that service is not done, one is just eating, drinking, enjoying, which is what the Rakshasas also do, Asuras also do, and the Devatas also are doing that right now. Only thing is, Devatas have done Punya Karma, so they are in the heaven. Some of the Rakshasas, Asuras, and all of them, they have done some Papa Karmas also. So they are in that particular yoni. But the point is what? If the body is got, especially human body is got, then it is to serve. Purify the mind to realize I am Brahman, I am not this is a perishable entity. Now, when Dadichi Marshi said this, he made up his mind. And what did he do? Shukdev ji says, Evam kritavya vasito dadhyang artharvanastanum pare bhagavati brahmani atmanam sannayan jahau. He absorbed his mind in Brahman, consciously ejected out of this body. Dadichi Maharshi, the son of Atharva, he dropped his body. This is the Ichamrityu, dying at will, dropping the body at will. And how did he do that? Yatakshasu mano buddhihi tattvadrig dhvastabandhanaha asthita paramam yogam nadeham bubudhe gatam. So he controls. So it is a process of withdrawals. Step by step you withdraw and then eject out. So controlling his senses, the vital air, the mind and the intellect, his eyes fixed on the absolute truth, meaning here, in that 8th chapter also it is come. Dhruvor pranamaveshya samyak satam param purusham upaiti divyam. Focusing here, withdrawing all the senses, the pranas, the mind, you focus here, remembering Bhagavan, ejects out of the body. So that's how yogis consciously eject out of the body. When we die, prana goes out through any of the 9 holes of the body. If the jiva is a punyatma, the prana will go out from the face. If the jiva has done lot of bhoga vasanas, bhoga vritti the jivatma has too many, then it will go out from the holes below the body. And the lower half of the body. So the point is, this jiva, like Dadichi Maharshi, he ejects out of the body consciously at will. Anyway, he is a realized person. And for realized person, body is no moha of the body is there. And he gave it for the cause of the devatas. So that is another interesting thing to note. It is not that if Danavas had approached, he would have given. Because the cause that he is supporting here would be a righteous cause. Devatas take care of the Srishti. They manage the whole creation also. Through them, Bhagavan takes care of the entire creation. So, Devatas want the Daivi Sampat, Daivi, the divine forces. They have to be supported. And Devatas, yes, they may have indulgent tendencies, no doubt, but they don't do adharma. And the Danavas, they will do, and they will harass people. Devatas don't harass people. Individual cases may be there, Indra becomes insecure and he will send some apsara to the rishi, etc. But that is, Indra also is to understand that Indra's position also is finally a finite jiva's position, however glorious Indra's position may be. So in that context, it is to understand the glory of Brahma Vidya. That Brahma Vidya is that which alone will fulfill. Even if you go to Swarga and become Indra, still Jiva Bhav will not go. That is for that. So Dadichi Marshi gives up his body. Now, when some people ask, should we donate our organs or not? If you see Dadichi Maharshi's answer, what he said, use the body, it is meant for others. It belongs to others, is meant for serving others. Anyway, the body is going to be buried or burnt, it will get decayed, get wasted. Might as well donate what organs one can. Let somebody's life become better. And whole body also some people donate for research and whatever that, for practicing surgery, etc. Whatever one wants to do. If you say, do the scriptures say anything about organ donation? They have certain rules and restrictions. Dadichi Marshi gave his body, he is a detached person. Somebody is absolutely very attached to the body, one should train oneself, saying this is not me. And important point also is to know that if an organ is donated, an organ also is an expression of one's mind. So if one has lived a very, an immoral life, life of a lot of adharma, etc., it will reflect in the body also. Memories, the mind, the emotions, everything will affect the body and it will get stored in the body also. So the person whose organ somebody is taking, they have to do due diligence. Ki whose organ is this, from where this has come, what is the background of that person, because it will affect this donee who is taking it. As a donor, one should live responsibly in a righteous way, doing one's duties, following right values, etc., and donate. But if one is doing adharma, doing every kind of wrong thing possible, and then says, I'm donating my body, that also is creating difficulty for somebody else. We should not think that, okay, by doing punya karma, in that sense of donating the body or some organs, I will attain some punya and that will offset my papa karma. No, it will not. It will create more trouble for the other person. And so a person has to be careful. See how there's one video I'm going to share of how a donor, what his background was, how it affected the donee. This is not to scare anybody, but this is to understand that how much responsibility one has while living one's life to follow dharma. Now you see. Hello. आप आके दे दो ना. Hello. Hello. So the memories of the donor, what their life is earlier, will affect this person. They do want to still to confirm all that research, etc. they are doing, but the point is that's why some places you will find that some even some great masters they will say you don't do organ donation because how the person has lived life one doesn't know. But if one has lived a fairly happy life, dharmic life, doing sadhana, etc., donate because the body is meant for that to serve. Paropakaratham idam shariram. So Dadichi Marshi, he does this. He drops the body. And what does Indra do? With the help of Vishwakarma, the vajra is made. Athendro vajra mudyamya nirmitam Vishwakarmana mune shukti bhirutsikto bhagavat tejasanvitaha. So Vishwakarma makes this vajra, thunderbolt, with the bones of Dadichi Rishi, and it also has the uh, power of Bhagwan, Bhagavat Tejasanvitaha. Now, with that, Indra feels very strong, and now he goes, praised by all the sages, etc. He sits on his Airavat and he goes and to fight this vrtrasura. He is surrounded by so many of these demons, etc. And the analogy given here is like Rudra rushes against death at the time of universal dissolution. In that way, Indra went. Now, fierce battle happens between the Devatas, where it happens on the banks of Narmada at the beginning of Treta Yuga, during the very first round of the 4 yugas of the current Manvantara, which is Vaivasvata Manvantara. Now the demons headed by Vritra could not bear to see Indra armed with thunderbolt and resplendent in his native glory on the field of battle. And Indra is accompanied by all the Pradhana Devatas. So who are these 32 main deities? When we say 32 crore, 33 crore, then it is Koti. So those are these 11 Rudras, 8 Vasus, 12 Adityas, 2 Ashwini Kumars, and Indra. Then apart from that, the Pitrus, the Agni Devata, then Marut, the Ribhus, Sadhyas, Vishwe Devas. These all are fighting. With whom the Danavas are all these, the demons are Namuchi, Shambhara, Anarva, Dvimurdha, Rishabha, Ambara, Hayagriva, uh, Shankushira, Viprachitti, Ayomukha, Puloma, Vrishaparva, Praheti, Heti, Utkala, all these are, and the sons of Diti, who are Daityas, and the sons of Danu, who are Danavas. So Devatas and so Daityas and Danavas, they are two different types of people. So these Daityas are sons of Diti, Aditi and Diti, Kashyap Rishi's wives, and then Danu also. So Danavas are the sons of Danu. Then Yakshas and Rakshasas. And who are they led by? Mali and Sumali. Those of you who are attending this, who attended that Valmiki Ramayana, you saw in that is Mali and Sumali, they are ancestors of Ravan. So they are all fighting together. So the group of Devatas, group of this demons, Daityas, Danavas, all of them, one massive fight goes on. Each of them are throwing different weapons and all that, and Devatas are unassailable. So in the beginning, all these Danavas, they are throwing weapons and mace and sword and spear and so many of those. but nothing happens to the devatas, they destroy it all. Then they start throwing mountains and peaks and trees and stones and all that. Again, nothing happens to them. And these demons are very, you know, astonished. And they are at their wits' end. Now, what to do? Repeatedly, whatever attempt they are making, it proves futile. Then, as what happens finally, they who did not have any devotion for Bhagavan, they don't have their energy, they are robbed of all their strength also, all their weapons, etc. also are gone. So what do? They start running. They want to run away from the battlefield. So when they are running away from this battlefield, Vritra, he tells them that he laughs and he tells them that oh Viprachiti, Namuchi, Puloma, Maya, Anarva, Shambhara, listen to me. See this gyan that he gives here. Jatasya mrityur dhruva. Sorry, the tune is different. जातस्य मृत्युर्ध्रुव एष सर्वतः प्रतिक्रिया यस्य न चेह कृप्ता लोको यशश्चाथ ततो यदि ह्यम लोको यशश्चाथ ततो यदि ह्यमुम को नाम मृत्युम न वृणीत युक्तम. He is giving philosophy. He is saying that this death which you are so scared of is sure to befall everyone that is born, wherever one may be, and no means of avoiding it in this world has been devised by the Creator. If therefore an abode in heaven and fame in this world could be had from it, who as a matter of fact would not actually court such a desirable death? Abode in heaven and fame here. When will this happen? In these two situations it will happen. What do the scriptures say? They say here that dvau sammata vihamrityu durapau yad brahma samdharanaya jitasu kalevaram yogarato vijahyat yadagrani vira shaye anivrittaha. In two situations, the scriptures allow this death to happen voluntarily. One is what? When the yogi drops the body consciously, because the yogi has fulfilled the purpose, realization is done, enough vairagya is there, there's no moha to live anymore, just ejects out of the body. So that is this. Yoga rato vijahyat. Kalevaram vijahyat. Kalevaram is the body. And second one is when a brave soldier is fighting on the battlefield and gets killed in that, one will attain Veer Swarga. Veera Shaye Anivrittaha. When that Anivritta means not running away from the battlefield. So he's telling them, by running away from the battlefield, you are going to get both. Remember, this is what Bhagavan tells Arjuna also in the Gita. Anarya Jushtam Aswaryam Akirtikaram Arjuna. Three things he says. That you are behaving not like a Aryan, not like a gentleman. You are not going to attain Swarga, Aswargam and Akirtikaram. This will not bring you any glory. The people will say, Avachya Vadancha Bahun Vadishyanti Tavahitaha. They will speak such bad words about you कि you are a coward, you ran away from battlefield, you turned your back and you fled. And that is Nindantas Tava Samarthyam Tato Dukkhataram Nukim. They will criticize you and all your power, strength, achievement will all be wasted. And what more can be sorrowful for a Kshatriya than that? So same thing Vrtrasura is saying here, that if you run away from the battlefield, you will not get Swarga also, you will not get glory here also, people will talk bad about you here, so why are you doing this? But they did not want to listen to him. And so this is where the chapter 10 ends, and now we enter chapter 11. So they were filled with fear. Sa evam shamsato dharmam vacha patyurachetasaha naiva grinhan bhayatrastaha palayana paranripa. So Shukdev ji says to Parikshit Maharaj, O Nripa, O king, they were filled with fear and all Vivek Shakti, everything is robbed by that, and they didn't give any, pay heed to his advice, and they just fled from there. Now see, even Vritrasura has knowledge of dharma. It is not that these asuras and rakshasas and daityas and danavas, they don't have knowledge of dharma. They also have, but their understanding is lesser sometimes, or they don't want to follow sometimes. And here Vritrasura's case is very different. You will see his devotion also is there. So he has knowledge also, and he has devotion also to Bhagwan. So always it is not necessary that the Rakshasas are bad. Yes, they are, and they get the result of their karma. Even here Vritrasura will get. And also it is that they may have knowledge, but for what use are they putting that knowledge to? Is it meant for service, or is it meant for hurting, harming, exploiting, killing, looting, plundering, destroying? For what is it being used? If it is used for wrong things, or one is not stopping the wrong things even though one is having knowledge, then that knowledge is not bright. Then that knowledge is dull, and that knowledge is eclipsed. So Vritrasura has the knowledge, and he's telling them, ki, don't run away. It is not befitting to, warrior. You will not attain Swarga, you will not attain Kirti. But they don't listen. They are filled with fear. What Dadichi Marshi said, now life is very dear. So they ran. Now, when when Vritrasura saw that, the demons are getting killed also, many are running away also, and he saw that the Devata side, that is not happening. And they are running, chasing these Danavas. So, what did Vritrasura do? He felt very pained, and with warding off the gods by his own might and scolding them, he addresses them in this way. He tries to give advice now to the Devatas. Kimba उच्चरितैर्मातुः धावद्भिपृष्ठतो हतैः नहि भीतवधश्लाघ्यो न स्वर्ग्यः शूरमानिनाम्. He says that when people are running away, you are chasing them. What will be gained by you through these fugitives who are no better than the excreta of their mother, being struck from behind? Indeed, the slaughter of the terror-stricken is neither praiseworthy. People are terror-stricken and you are going behind them, they are running away and you want to kill them, nor conducive to heavenly enjoyment for those who think of themselves as brave. Meaning brave people don't do like this. If you are keen about fighting, or if there is courage in your heart, if there is no craving in your heart for sensuous enjoyment, stand but for a moment before me. Open challenge. You know how sometimes people, you see here in this movies and all that, माँ का दूध पिया है तो मेरे सामने आ, मुझसे लड़, and all that they will say. Na, this is all here from this. How much the demons are running away, devatas are chasing them. Vritrasura says, if you have that guts, you fight me. Thus, threatening the host of gods, his enemies, by his words. And he is a huge, Vritrasura is not like other demons, just, powerful in terms of whatever some shaktis they have, but he is mighty, huge in his size, because he is born from yajna, and that's why devatas are not able to defeat him. So he, massive, huge in size, vast strength, he rode in a way that people fainted to hear the sound. Devatas dropped on the ground just as when they would be struck by lightning. Now Vritrasura takes his spear and as he's walking, so many devatas get trampled also, they get also killed. Some of them they fall unconscious. Example given here is like a mad elephant, like a lordly elephant would uh, trample upon the lotuses in mad fury. Like that, this Vritrasura had gone mad, tramples upon the devatas. And Indra, he saw him and he threw his mace. But Vritrasura just took that mace and threw it back on Airavata. It hits Airavata and Airavata is bleeding profusely and he goes backwards. He retreated to a distance of 28 cubits. Reeling and vomiting blood, its mouth broken, Airavata. But Indra helps Airavata to recover. See here what is said here in Bhagavatam, that noble soul Vritra did not aim the mace for a second time at Indra, who felt dejected in the mind. seeing Indra, the slayer of the brother Vishwarupa, Tvashta's son Vishwarupa and brother of Vritrasura, Vritrasura remembers now, and he says that to Indra, he says that what does he tell him now? That you have killed my brother, and so I am here to take revenge. So he says, luckily for enough for me, you who slew a Brahmana, your own preceptor and my brother, meaning his guru, Indra killed his own guru and the brother of the Vritrasura, have firmly stood before me as my adversary. How glad am I that through you, O most wicked one, when your stone-like heart has been pierced through before long by my trident, I shall have discharged my debt to my brother today. I would have given up, I have done my duty towards my brother for whom I was created, to avenge whom I was created. So he says that you ruthlessly lopped off with a sword the heads of my innocent brother, who besides being a Brahmana and your preceptor had realized the self and reposing full confidence in you was engaging in a sacrifice. Even as one aspiring to be in heaven would sever the head of an animal to be sacrificed, in that way you sacrificed him, you killed him. When your body has been torn asunder by my trident, vultures will feast on you, forsaken as you are by shame, grace, compassion, and glory, and fit to be censured even by Rakshasas. Because of your sinful deeds, since you will get no fire to burn you. I shall indeed propitiate the god Bhairava and others with their retinue through the blood of those other foolish gods who, following the lead of your cruel self, have raised their missiles to strike me on this battle, and whose neck will be pierced through with my sharp trident. So Vritrasura also threatens Indra. And he says, in case you succeed in killing me, my army is crushed by you, my head is severed by you with your thunderbolt, then see this, what he says. I will offer my body as a propitiatory oblation to the birds and the beasts, vultures and jackals, and freed from all debt of karma, attain to the dust of the feet of enlightened souls like Narad. This is his bhav, Vritrasura. Tatrajnano bhutabalim vidhaya manasvinam padaraja prapatsye. Then he says, why do you not hurl your thunderbolt at me, your enemy? I am standing right before you. Don't entertain any moha in your mind. Ma samsaishtha nagadeva vajram syan nishphalam kripanartheva yamcha. Don't entertain any misgivings and rest assured that the thunderbolt will not prove ineffectual as your mace. Because Indra has doubt. If my mace could not do anything, maybe the thunderbolt also won't work. Vritra says, don't worry about that, because it is made with Dadichi Maharshi's selfless body, Uh, and it also has the energy of Bhagavan Hari. So he says that surely this thunderbolt of yours has been wetted by the energy of Sri Hari as well as by the asceticism of sage Dadichi. Prompted by Lord Vishnu, get rid of your enemy with the weapon. Why? Because victory, fortune, and virtues lean on that side alone on which stands Sri Hari. See this, he is so clear. He is actually a Bhakta of Bhagavan, but for some karmic reason he is born here. So he says this, that wherever Bhagavan Hari is, there only Harir Vijayaha Shrir Gunas Tataha. There only victory will be there, where Bhagavan is. And then he says something very nice. He says, concentrating my mind on the lotus feet of Lord Sankarshana, even as he has instructed me, and with the cords of attachment to the pleasure of the sense cut asunder by the force of your thunderbolt, and having cast off the body, I shall attain the destiny of a sage given to contemplation. He says, I will become a Muni, contemplative Muni. See that. Muner Yamyapa Viddhalokaha. So he doesn't want power, he doesn't want, truly he doesn't even want revenge, but okay, he has been created for it, so he will do. But his bhav is, I want to become a sage, I want to serve the great devotees of Bhagavan. So he says the Lord does not bestow, of course, on his own people who are exclusively devoted to him, the riches that are available in the heaven or on earth or in the subterranean region, that is Patal Lok, etc. And from which follow what? Hatred, fear, mental anguish, arrogance, discord, suffering, and toil. Meaning, if somebody doesn't have so much of wealth, power, position, that is Bhagwan's kripa, that Bhagwan doesn't want them to get trapped in any of those. And he says, our master, on the other hand, O Indra, frustrates the effort of his servants for attainment of the three objects of human pursuit. If the bhaktas trying to get artha, kama, and dharma, Bhagwan may even frustrate that jiva, meaning sometimes the desires will not be fulfilled. Sometimes one will be feeling, why did this not happen, or why did that thing happen to me? But finally, Bhagwan is working out the best for the jiva so that the jiva attains mukti. See this. Three purusharthas, in that Bhagwan may put obstacles, but the fourth one, he will not. So, from such frustration is to be inferred the grace of the Lord, who is a lot of only those who have nothing to call their own and is difficult to attain for others. Those who are so detached. Bhagwan alone belongs to them, they belong to Bhagwan, they don't have attachment to anything else. Such bhaktas. So he says that turning mentally towards the Lord, may I, O Hari, be born again after death as a servant of those devotees who have solely taken refuge in your lotus feet. This is what is his bhavana. He is praying to Bhagwan now, saying ki Bhagwan, when I am killed and this body is dropped, I should be born as a servant of the devotees of Bhagwan, like Naradji and all the such great devotees. I should be born as a servant because that's the only way of getting bhakti and even strengthening bhakti is to serve Bhagavat bhaktas. So he says, let my mind ponder and tongue celebrate the excellences of the Lord of my life, and let my body do your service. Meaning, you doesn't mean Indra here, you means Bhagwan. O storehouse of all blessedness and grace, without you I crave neither the abode of Dhruva, nor even the realm of Brahman, nor the sovereignty of the entire globe, nor the lordship of the Patal Lokas, nor superhuman powers, the Ashtasiddhis attained through yoga, nor even liberation. Even mukti he doesn't want. Why? Bhakti is beyond mukti also. That is called Jnanottara Bhakti, where the devotee and the Lord are one. And yet there is a great sense of joy and one sees Bhagwan everywhere. So that he says that three different analogies he gives. Even as unfledged birds left behind in their nest are eager to see the mother bird, how young calves tormented with hunger and kept away from the mother cow seek milk of its udders. and a beloved life, depressed in spirits due to desolation, longs to see her beloved husband, absent from home. In that way, my mind, O lotus-eyed one, is keen to behold you. Such a nice thing that Vritrasura is saying. See that. Ajata iva mataram khagaha stanyam yatha vatsara क्षुधार्थाः स्तन्यं यथा वत्सतरा क्षुधार्थाः प्रियं प्रियेव व्युषितं विषण्णा मनोरविन्दाक्षदिदृक्षते त्वाम्. This is a very famous shloka of Bhagavatam. Many places it is quoted. So let there be my friendship with the devotees of the Lord of excellent renown, revolving as I do in the whirling of transmigration due to my own deeds. And let him whose mind is attached through your Maya to his body, offspring, wife and home, etc., have no friendship with me. Meaning he is saying, let me have only satsang, company of bhaktas, devotees. I don't want company of those who are fascinated by Maya, pulled by Maya, attracted by Maya. Bhagavan, please bless me with that. Now, that is where I will stop today. One more chapter. The next chapter he will get killed, but before that there is a nice dialogue between him and Indra. So that we will take up in our next class.
प्रिया प्रीतम की मंगल प्रीति रीति धूम की मंगल कांति हसनी दसनन की मंगल मुरली दीना धुन की मंगल आरती मंगल बनिक त्रिभंगी हरि की मंगल सेवा सब सहचर की मंगल सिर चंद्रिका मुकुट की मंगल छवि नयन में अटकी मंगल आरती पभी अंग अंग की मंगल गौर श्याम रंग की मंगल अति कटि पियरे पट की मंगल चितमणि नागर नट की मंगल आरती मंगल शोभा कमल नयन की मंगल माधुरी मृदुल पैन की मंगल वृंदावन मद अटकी मंगल क्रीडन जमुना तट की मंगल आरती मंगल चरण अरुण तरुवन की मंगल करणी भगति हरिजन की मंगल जुगल प्रिया बावन की मंगल श्री राधा जीवन की मंगल आरती प्रिया प्रीतम की मंगल प्रीति रीति दोन की मंगल आरती मंगल आरती। राधावर कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की जय। ओम न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चंद्र तारकम् नेमा विद्युतो भान्ति कुतो यमग्निः तमेव भान्तमनुभाति सर्वं तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय।
When a person dies, how does one know from which part of the body the soul leaves? Only sometimes we will know. Every time we can't know. Suppose the eyes remain open or the mouth opens up, that time only we will know. Otherwise, we will not know. How does an asura have such divine quality? Some past karma, some sadhana they would have done, and some negative karma would have happened, so he is born as an asura. Like how even Ravan, Kumbhakarna, etc., you see them, they are Jay and Vijay who are devotees of Bhagavan. Now then they became arrogant and then Bhagavan, Sanat Kumar cursed them and then they fell. And then they took 3 births. In that they are all asuras. But they are bhaktas of Bhagavan who did some blunder and then they got cursed. So sometimes vrtrasura also is like that. Sometimes they are devotees of Bhagavan, would have done some negative karma or some past karma before they became devotees. Now that is rectifying. If someone is in need of an organ donation, so first we must verify donor credentials. Yes, we must verify donor credentials. Very important that is. Then only take, because otherwise the mind will get affected. Body may also get affected. Mind also may get affected. Because finally it is karma. Body also, every single aspect of the body is a expression of karmic influences, right? And further karma we are doing with this body. So if we don't become careful, then the cell memories, bodies will have impact, and then even the mind will get impacted. In that video, you see both are there. They both will get affected, body also and mind also. That person whose heart was transplanted, now that person died in an accident and had certain types of painful experience or whatever happened to that person. Now this Dhoni who has got it is now certainly getting some of those. So which yeah, I will share the video, then you can take up the book.
Swamiji, so my question is that the pain is felt at the physical level because we give too much attention, meaning is it mind related?
No, which pain are you talking about?
Physical pain in the body.
See, physical pain in the body will to anyway be there, because if there is some wound or hurt or whatever it is, and through the nerves it is coming into the brain, so we are aware of the pain. If the nerves are numb, that's why painkiller will do that, so we don't feel the pain. But physical pain in the body, of course, the mind identifies with it. That's why we have this feeling that I am this jiva. So with that identification, the pain will also be felt just like pleasure is felt. It can't be that I don't feel pain, only I feel pleasure. How we feel pain is the same way we feel pleasure also, through the mind only, no?
So then we should not give much attention, they say.
So if we are trying to develop equanimity, that's what it is, right? To develop equanimity, saying pleasure and pain are the nature of this, dvandva is the nature of this samsara as well as this body. So do what needs to be done. Don't preoccupy the mind with that. So if there is a pain, put the medicine, take some band-aid, whatever has to be dressing, whatever has to be done, and then do what needs to be done after that. Don't obsess over it. That's all it means.
Okay, thank you, Hari.
Hari Om. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.